This is the underscore.js library. It's a very famous library in JavaScript that helps you work with arrays and collections of objects. The really neat thing about underscore, besides how incredibly useful it is that it also made an effort to show how it implemented what it did. And that gets to something that I'll talk about later in this course, which is what I call an open source education. There's a massive, massive library of JavaScript code out there available for free for you. Libraries and frameworks that are well used and well regarded, and their source code is excellent. You can read the source code of these libraries and learn things for free. The challenge, of course, is that you need to understand some of these advanced concepts that we've talked about. And that's what I hope this course is helping you to do, to be able to get an open source education, to be able to write better JavaScript, but also learn from really good JavaScript by being able to read good JavaScript. All right, so underscore.js, if I scroll down, you can download the production version or the development version. I downloaded the development version because it has a whole lot of comments, and you can just read right through it to see how all of this works. Or you can go to this link here called annotated source, and it actually breaks out those comments in a separate column next to the code. So you can read right through the underscore.js code, and underscore.js implements a lot of functional programming concepts. You're almost always passing what they call an iteratee or a predicate, a function that does work, to these other functions that do a lot of really good work. So I encourage you to take a look at the annotated source code for underscore.js and try using it. Read through some of it. See what you can learn. Also, there's an alternate library called Lodash. That's lodash.com. It works very much the same on the outside as underscore, but implements extra features and has rewritten some of its utilities that turn out to work a bit faster. So some people prefer Lodash, although underscore and Lodash go back and forth on a lot of things. It doesn't really matter which one you choose, but I encourage you to go through this annotated source code in underscore because it's so useful and such an education. I also like to give credit to the originators of an idea. Underscore was first. Lodash is something that came along later, and while it certainly deserves a lot of credit for constructing some even faster, even better performing code, it's an awful lot easier to take an idea and improve upon it than it is to create an idea from scratch in the first place. So I like to give credit to the originators, to the creators of an idea. So underscore is the first. It came along first, and it has this nice annotated source code for you to look at. So I encourage you to go through it. It's certainly not bad code by any stretch of the imagination. It is extraordinarily clean and extraordinarily popular. Let's just try using it just for a second. I'll give myself a little room here. I've downloaded the underscore.js library. So it's just a lot of JavaScript code. By the way, notice what it starts with. See that? What does this famous, well-used library start with? That's right. Its code is wrapped inside of an immediately invoked function expression, so that all of this code inside of here doesn't collide with any code that you might be writing. Cool, right? All right, so I have all this code with all these comments. I've included it, and then I've referenced it in my index.html file before my app.js file. So that immediately invoked function expression that wraps all that underscore code will execute, and then I'll have an object in the global object to use. The object in the global object that is set up tries to minimize how much typing you have to do. It's literally just in underscore. That's the name of the object. That's a valid name in JavaScript. So that means I only have to write one character to use this library. Saves a lot of typing. And so then has all of these methods available to it. So, for example, if I was to do something similar to the map that we just made, I'll make a new array. I can do underscore dot map, give it an array, and give it the function to do work. Let's say I just want to multiply by 3 all of my items in my array and get a new array back. Incidentally, underscore's map is a lot better than the one we just wrote because it covers a lot more scenarios. There we go. 3, 6, and 9. That array times 3. All of its items times 3. There's other things I could do, like I want an array underscore, that's the name of the object that was put intentionally onto the global object to make available everywhere. And I can do dot filter. I'll give it, let's say, an array 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I want to get back only items that have a remainder when divided by 2 of 0. So these are items that are divisible by 0. See that? So this should give me back a filter. It will filter out of this list and give me back a sublist. So I've essentially queried my big long array and gotten back only items divisible by 2. And there's a whole bunch of other methods that underscore and Lodash offer to us. And they all involve understanding these functional programming concepts. So mess around with underscore. Play with it a while. Look at its source code. You will learn a lot. And think about how you can implement these ideas in your own code. How can you use first-class functions to their best advantage, to write and build cleaner code, to build things that other programmers can use, programmers maybe that you're even working with, or others on the internet, that they can reuse more easily, that you yourself can reuse more easily and write less code. This is the power of functional programming, and also the power of an open source education. All right, so JavaScript, first-class objects, first-class functions, and functional programming.